right, so I am taking you on a tour of central Boca right now, and I am headed north on St. Andrews Boulevard to give you some insight about what it's like to live in central Boca. And we're passing Pinecrest School as we speak, which is is K through high school, and it is one of the most elite private schools that exist down here in South Florida. There are others, but this is a really good one in Central Boca. Passing through Timber Creek right now. I'm going to circle back to that community because it is one of the non-gated communities that exist in Central Boca, and this is an incredible place to live. So this video is all about what it's like to live in Central Boca. I define Central Boca as being the space between 95, I-95, Interstate 95, which is the main highway, one of the main highways that will take you anywhere you want to go, north and south in Florida, and it goes all the way up and down the state. And then the Turnpike, which does the same thing. So anything that would be west of the Turnpike, I consider to be West Boca. Anything east of 95, I would consider to be East Boca. And then there's Coastal Boca, which is right off of, let's call it Federal Highway to A1A. And that real estate is ultra luxury, ultra premium, and totally different than really any other place. So that being said, that gives you parameters of Boca. And one of the things that you should be mindful of as it relates to Boca, actually, I'm going to turn into this community here, which I love. I'm going to go a little bit closer. This is Millpond. Millpond is gorgeous. And the first thing that strikes me about driving through Millpond is that you almost feel like you're up north. Now, these communities in Boca have, outside of the coastal communities of Boca, Boca was established and built out, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and in some cases before that. But a lot of look at the park, that's Millpond Park. It is incredible. You can see a dad and his son getting pushed around. This is an incredible family community, and these homes, the tree-lined streets, the homes are older. There are some homes that have been torn down and rebuilt, so there are some newer homes in here, but the first vibe that I get when I drive into the community is that you're kind of it feels kind of like you're up north. You've got some brick-faced homes, or some brick homes. There are one-story homes, which would be called estate-style homes, and then you've got other homes that are more than one story. So, but you've got a lot of activity. You can see this lady. Hi. She's getting after it. I'm going to turn up the street because you can see somebody installing a roof. And I suspect you'll find a fair amount of that in here because these homes are older, and some of them need new roofs. In some communities that I drive in through that were built in at certain times, I call it's roof season, because look at this home. That feels like you're up north. What's cool about this neighborhood is really it's just the vibe. This is just an incredible place to live. But yeah, I was getting back to the roof season. So homes that were developed, or developments that were done at a certain period of time, call it 30 years ago, all of those roofs need to be replaced right around the same time. So it's not uncommon to go into a community like that and see a lot of blue tarps on the roof. Now look at this home. This is really nice, but it reminds me of the Brady Bunch house. So they're older homes, Most of them, a lot of them have been redone in the interior, so they do. Look at this puppy. I can angle that more. Yeah. American flag, little patriotism never hurt. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Igoe. All right, so but one of the things I love about this neighborhood, you see these mature trees, you see the shade that they produce, you've got the sidewalks everywhere, got a bunch of nice single family homes that have they're not all built the same way, so there is some diversity in the way they look. But a lot of them are older homes and they're smaller. You see a family out there playing outside as I approach the park and tennis court. Oh, I'm gonna go over here real quick. Look at this. Come on. You think this is a fun place for kids to live? They got their Christmas decorations up still. That's all right. I love Christmas. Well, look at this house. That's interesting. But what's cool about that is those backyards are massive. So if you're on a cul-de-sac in this community, and I suspect most of the homes, well, all of the homes in here definitely have their own private backyard, but depending on the way they're configured, you may have another home behind your backyard, and they're laid out in such a way. I mean, when this neighborhood was developed, there was a lot more land. So a lot of these, now this is the focal point of the community, is this park. So you got the tennis courts off to your right, and then you've got this walking path which leads to a gazebo on a lake. Actually, that's not the point I wanted to highlight. The park itself, when you first come in, is a major draw for living here. But there's all kinds of activity, right? There's all kinds of access to everything you'd want to be. So this is Central Boca. You are 5 minutes away from the town center mall, and it's police patrolled, which is cool. I'm gonna wave to him. Look at the hey buddy, guy walking his dog. You got a basketball court, you've got a pavilion, covered gazebo, swing set. I mean, this is gorgeous. Bunch of families out there playing, a water feature in the lake. It is super nice. Whoa. If you watched my last video, which is a tour of West Boynton, you saw that my phone mount, or my, well, it's a phone / camera mount, wasn't staying. So I'm trying this new piece of technology, and I don't know that it's the best solution at this point, but it is a solution. But these tree-lined streets are so pretty. Gives you the feel of being up north. Let's see if I can angle that differently. But there's a lot of activity in here, right? You see a lot of landscapers doing their thing, cutting the lawn. And then, I don't like that angle. Let's go wider. Yeah, buddy. Look at this house. This house is incredible. And the house next to it, which honestly, this feels like you're up north. Brick-faced, huge backyard. I mentioned this in the other video too about West Boynton, where one of the cons, or one of the things that isn't my favorite, is the fact that there's not a lot of parking. There's not the big circular driveways that exist in other places. That particular home had a huge circular driveway, which is I think great. You know, you can, if your parents, your family, whoever, your friends are coming over for a barbecue or to watch the football game or whatever, there's plenty of space to accommodate their cars. Now, it's not uncommon in other neighborhoods for people to park in the cul-de-sac, or in my community, they'll park on the street, whatever. But if you're buying $1 million+ home, I don't know. I want to ensure that my guests have a place to park, and it's not a huge con. It certainly isn't a deal breaker for me. I obviously live there, but it's if I had my preference, I would love to have more of a driveway or a circular driveway. All right, so this is Millpond, and again, really, really nice community, very family oriented, very friendly and welcoming. But it's got that northern feel, which, you know, down here in South Florida, we're gonna get that park again from a different angle. And this area is in incredibly high demand. Anything in Central Boca that's close to Town Center Mall is going to be, you know, incredibly in demand. Everything in Boca is zoned for good schools. This is no exception. Look at this. Look at this exit to the community, and it's not the other exit is similar to this. But I just wanted to pop by real quick to give you some insight of what exists in Central Boca, so that you have a feel for the area, right? You know, I'm going to go up and down St. Andrews into some of these other communities to showcase what that looks like. But again, great schools, great municipality. You saw the police officer. It is a very safe place to live. They don't have the gated, they don't have a guard gate like you would in some of the other communities. But as you saw by the police officer driving through, they are very safe. They are very secure, and they're very pretty. Right now, I think there may be only one home for sale in Millpond, and I want to say it's right around $900,000. And frankly, it's a total gut job. So real estate, buying a home in Millpond is going to be ultra competitive, and it's going to be expensive. And that's just, it is what it is. If you want to be in Boca, there is tremendous demand. Every family from around the country and around the world that's shopping is looking at those homes too. So Millpond, super nice. And in this video, I'll attach some pictures so you can get a better sense of what the homes look like, what that park looks like. But I wanted to give you an overview. And I'm going to drive to the end of this street and then circle back. You've got Les Jardins, which I'm not going to be able to get into. I do not have an appointment to see any property in there, and it is gated, so it is harder to just pop in unannounced. But I want you to get a sense of the area for Central Boca as we continue, and I will go to the light and make a U-turn. But to your right, you got Spanish River Church, which is an incredible church and school. If that is your thing. Whoa! And then in front of us, you've got, so I'm right now running perpendicular on St. Andrews to Yamato Road. In front of us and to our right of us, you've got access to Spanish River Park, which I'll drive through too, but it's very close. It's an incredible ball field, baseball, soccer, football, basketball, kids park, whatever you would possibly want. And then in front of us, the community that you're seeing there is Broken Sound. Broken Sound is a mandatory membership golf club community, so if you love golfing and you love that lifestyle, it's a great place to live. If you don't, then you probably don't want to pay those fees. And there are many neighborhoods that exist that have similar amenities, but of course they don't have the golf. They will very likely have tennis courts, and they will very likely have resort-style amenities, but you're not paying that premium that you would pay to live that lifestyle. And my wife actually grew up in Broken Sound when she moved here from Brazil, but now we're going to go into the Colonnade. And again, I've made a U-turn. I am entering the Colonnade. And what you'll notice that that's the Colonnade at Glen Oaks. It is very similar to Millpond. And as we drive into the community, what you'll notice, let me angle that a little bit differently. As you drive into the community, you've got Boca Tierra Park, which is really cool if you live here and you've got kids, because you've got this incredible park that's right there located within the community. And I'm going to drive through. And again, you've got a covered playground, you've got tennis courts, walking trails. The bouncing is not my favorite. Well, I don't think that did it much justice, but when I edit this video, I'll include some pictures so you can see what that's like. What I really want you to see is the homes in the neighborhood itself. Again, not a lot of homes for sale in here. I know in Millpond there's one active listing. I think there are 2 that are available in here right now. I haven't checked today, but just know that there's, not a lot of homes for sale. You can see the kids over there playing, I think, this incredible shaded walking path. And then, let's angle this so you can see what the homes look like. So the homes are older, and they look like they are probably from the early 90s. I suspect that is the case for some of them. In other cases, they may be older than that. But they're super pretty. This is an incredible place to live. Again, the main feature of this neighborhood is its location, and some of them are on lakes, some of them have water views. Let me angle this so you can see the street. You can see they're doing work to these homes. I suspect that as some of the kids age out and graduate and move on, there's probably going to be a lot of families that are considering selling. One of the things that we've had a lot of success with, once we know where you want to be, is we can get very aggressive. Like, for example, if you were to say, hey, Chris, we love this area, this is where we want to live, but there's no homes for sale, then what we can do is create a, we can get, super high tech with this. We can also go low tech, but we can, well, before I say what we can do, every single person who owns a home right now is thinking about selling in some capacity. They might not be ready to take action this minute, but there's nobody who owns anything, any type of real estate right now, that isn't aware of their home's value, or the fact that it's appreciated a lot, and that there's not a lot of inventory and there's a lot of demand. So everybody is thinking about selling in some way, shape, or form. And so when we meet with clients and we give them these tours and they get familiarized with the area and they say, hey, Chris, we want to live here, then we will create campaigns to go out there. Look at this house. That's really cool. And find that inventory. We'll go out there and reach out to these homes, these homeowners, and say something along the lines of, and it's always true, we always have the buyer, but hey, we're working with buyers right now that are interested in a home exactly like yours. Are you thinking about selling ever? You'd be shocked how effective that is if we're able to connect with somebody and then remove the pain point of actually having to put your house on the market and go through all the stress that exists from selling your home, the showings, the open houses, the people coming in and out, especially now with COVID and the new uptick with Omicron and whatever it is. If we can put together a deal without them having to really do anything other than, say yes, we're able to do that a lot of times. And so don't be discouraged by the fact that there is no inventory for sale now. We're really good at finding inventory once we know where you want to be. And that's exactly what if you've watched any of my previous videos, or you've seen the video about relocating from New Jersey to Florida, you met Matt, and Matt happened to be at the right place at the right time. I was able to find him an off-market deal and get him an incredible home and get him exactly where he wanted to be, which is what we aim to do for everybody. So if that's something that you're considering, then yeah, please reach out. We would love to help. And now I am headed back to, honestly, I don't know where I'm headed back to. I'm headed back to somewhere. and hopefully you're enjoying this content. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris Igoe. I have a full-time, full-service real estate. Well, first and foremost, I'm a full-time, full-service realtor with an all-star team that services all of South Florida. And here we go. All right, so we are in the Colonnade, and I am now at Jog Road. I'm on the opposite side of where I started. I'm gonna head back, and not sure which way I'm going right now, only because I'm not sure which area I want to showcase to you first. All right, so we are going a different way, but I want to show you what exists in Central Boca. And as we keep going, we are going to approach Yamato Road. And so in front of me, and the reason I did this is I want you to see where we are in proximity to Spanish River High School, which is on the corner of Yamato and Jog. To the left of me, which I'll pan, I don't know if you can see it very well, that's Woodfield Country Club. Again, an incredible community, but you're paying the membership fees and the equity fees and the annual fees that exist with that. So if you love golf, it's an option. If you don't, probably not so much. Spanish River High School is incredible. It is one of the best high schools around, and all the schools in Boca are incredible. You will not go wrong. That's one of the reasons why there's so much demand. Hopefully that's recording in a way that isn't crazy. But there's incredible demand to live in Boca, and the prices in Boca are expensive, and it is competitive. So you need to be aware of that going in. Don't be afraid of it, because I'm not, and we often get deals accepted, irrespective of whether there are multiple offers or not. So what I just did was a circle. I'm headed back to Spanish River, to St. Andrews Avenue, and I'm going to show you some more homes that exist off of St. Andrews, because that is the heart of Central Boca. That really is prime time, where you want to be, family oriented, in Boca Raton. Again, as you go into East Boca, different lifestyle, different vibe. As you go into West Boca, same thing, different lifestyle. Well, when I say different lifestyle, similar lifestyle. I mean, South Florida is wide open. It's free. There's opportunity everywhere. There are parks everywhere. There are walking paths everywhere. There's retail everywhere. There's great restaurants everywhere. But as you get closer to downtown Boca, it becomes more expensive. It becomes a little bit more trendy. It becomes a little bit more just a different vibe, right? So Meisner Park is, all of these things are only 10 minutes away from where we're at right now, but the price points change radically. The closer you get to Meisner, the closer you get to the ocean, the closer you get to intercoastal access, those price points increase dramatically, and it just is what it is. So to the left, again, you've got Broken Sound Country Club, and on this corner is going to be Spanish River Church that I mentioned, and then behind that you've got an incredible park. And then if you were to go a little bit further, you're on Military, and there's all kinds of shopping and retail, and anything that you could possibly want is going to be there too. But rather than drive that way, I want to go back down St. Andrews, so I can show you some more communities that exist that are not gated, that are not mandatory membership, that are very family friendly, that are right here in the heart of Boca. Because, well, one, I've never done that content before, and I think it's valuable. But very pretty, very aesthetically pleasing as you're driving. You're very close to Town Center Mall, which I will show, and a bunch of different restaurants, very close to downtown. You're very close to FAU. You're very close to AD Henderson, which is the elementary school that exists within the FAU campus. You're very close to Boca Regional. I'm pulling into Lakewood Oaks. Lakewood Oaks, again, another non-gated community that exists in central Boca. And really nice, really pretty. You see people walking outside. The homes are older homes. If you want newer homes, then you need to either be closer to the beach. Those price points are going to be in the millions. They're going to be very expensive. And or you want newer inventory in developments that are planned, that are set up, that are resort style, that are intentionally designed for families to thrive, with the resort amenities. Those are going to be in West Boca. And to be clear, there's no bad place in Boca. Every place in Boca is nice, it's safe, zoned for great schools, and it's going to be closer to some things that you might enjoy. But this gives you an idea of what the central Boca inventory looks like. And again, they look like older homes. They are what they are. The exterior does not necessarily reflect what the interior looks like. Many of these homes are, totally macked out on the inside. They've been modernized, and then some haven't. My favorite is when I get a listing, or I speak to a seller and they tell me that they just redid the home. And to them, they did just redo the home back in 2000. And what they seem to forget is that it's not the year 2000. it's 2022, and styles and tastes have changed. So what they consider to be, brand new is 20 years old. I suspect there's a fair amount of that in this particular neighborhood, but that just is what it is, and that's going to be on a case-by-case basis. All right. But what I want you to see is that this is what central Boca looks like. This is very close to, so right now from where we're at, let's call it 7 minutes, I don't even think it's that long, to I-95, which will take you anywhere you want to be, north or south. You're about a half hour from Palm Beach International. You're, let's call it 30, 40 minutes, depending on what the traffic looks like, to Fort Lauderdale Airport. So if you have to commute, you can do those things relatively quickly. If you've got the means, then there's Boca Executive Airport, which is very close. It's right in front of FAU. And, on the intersection of 95 and Glades. I'm going to go down another community and showcase what this is like. So these homes here, again, are going to be older. They're going to be smaller. They're very nice, and you're paying, location. You want to be in central Boca. You want to be at a more affordable price point. Then these are what that inventory looks like. But you're paying a premium, because if you were to find these same type homes in Deerfield Beach or in Pompano Beach, depending on where you're located, you can buy homes similar to this, much less expensive. Relatively speaking, it's still pricey. Oh, we don't want to swing. But it gives you a good idea of what the inventory looks like. It's older, but they're very nice, very safe communities. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in here. This guy's got a sick Corvette, bright yellow. Anybody who lives in Boca has means, right? It's not this is an expensive place to live, relatively speaking. And, depending on where you're at, that may, the cost of living adjustment might be a big improvement. But real estate right now in Boca Raton is pricey. And to put in context, so this is going to be less expensive than Millpond by light years, and same with the other communities that we've been into so far. All right. So I'm going to change this angle. Hopefully the sun isn't too distracting, but away we go. Alrighty, so I'm headed back to Glades Road, which is going to be the main road that is. Strathmore is nice. We're driving by it right now. Strathmore would be more in line with the second community that we toured so far. We are on Potomac Road, which I'm going to see if we can get into New Floresta. And I'm at a stoplight and trying to not get hit by oncoming traffic. So again, I hope you find this content valuable. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Come on, lots of thumbs up. The algorithm loves it when you do that. And when you engage with this content, it's going to put this content directly in front of people just like you who are interested in learning more about South Florida living, and we want to help everybody. So the more you engage, the better off it is for me and for you and for people just like you. So we are going to go into Strathmore here. I'm taking a different entrance. We're off of Potomac, and I want you to see what that looks like too. Again, I will link, at minimum, I will link these communities in the ad copy that's down below, and if I can, I will attach links to the video. I only get 5 opportunities to do that, so it's more likely that the links will be down below, but I'll also include, hey pal, hey dog, I'll also include within this video, I will edit it so that you can see what the homes look like, and I'll give you some price points too. But again, just know you're paying a premium to live in Boca, period, end of story. Everybody on the planet wants to be here because it's so safe, it's so welcoming, it's so family friendly. You've got access to all the best resources around, the best schools, some of the best, most competitive year-round sports that exist out there really anywhere. So, there's you've got Chris Evert Tennis Academy, which is close. Pinecrest has an incredible tennis team. You've got what am I thinking about right now? You've got competitive swim teams, bike clubs, anything you could possibly want is right here. And it's a really nice place to live, grow up, raise a family. Very active community. I'm part of the Boca Triathlon Club, which I continue to maintain a membership with, even though I no longer live here. I'm up in West Boynton. We are turning into New Floresta. New Floresta, not to be confused with Old Floresta, which doesn't exist. But you'll see these homes are a little bit nicer, a little bit newer, and also the price points will reflect that. But right now we are very close to, everything on this road is very close to Town Center Mall, Boca Town Center Mall. I just, again, want to share a little bit about look at these homes. These are pretty. Hopefully that sun isn't giving you too much glare. But look how nice these homes are. It is an incredible place to live. A lot of ranch style homes that exist in here, but super pretty. You got some 2-story babies too. Look at this. Again, really nice, very safe. Look at that nice man going for a walk, talking on his phone. Wonder if he's thinking about buying or selling real estate. But again, safe, lush, tropical feel, very well-maintained community. You see a lot of people outside walking, playing with their kids. It's 68 degrees out right now, which for Florida is pretty cold, or at least South Florida. Look at this puppy. This house looks really cool. That's ooh, man, my head's on a swivel. These homes in here are really, really nice. Again, some of them are older, some of them are newer, but a very nice neighborhood to live in. Hi, girl. I almost ran you over, so sorry about that. But this gives you a good idea of what the inventory is, what the neighborhood feels like. And I know I'm covering a lot of them, so I'm going to cover one. I'm not going to say one more. I was going to say one more, but I'm going to keep going until I'm going to keep going forever. Can't stop, won't stop. All right, so I am now leaving the community because I want to showcase another community, which is directly across the street. Very similar feel to, I'm going to zoom this out, to Millpond, and that is Timber Creek. All right, away we go. But look how pretty the drive in is. What I don't know if you can see over here, and I can't angle it the right way, it's got that similar feel to Millpond in that there's a bridge going over a little lake. There's a bunch of ducks in there, and there's a little island. It's super pretty, and I really like the feel of these neighborhoods because they feel a little bit, well, they're more established first and foremost, but they feel like you're up north. And I love these trees. I love the streets being covered by the trees. It's just really a pretty look to me, and I hope to you. But very well maintained, and you see each of these homes has its own privacy. It's got they've got their own fences, but they've got a decent amount of land. And again, in the newer communities, some of them do. So I don't want to say no newer community has a lot of land, but many of the new communities don't. They have the 0 lot lines. The developers who are developing these days are, and so another similar feature in this community is the Central Park, not Central Park in New York, but a park that's like the central hub of the community. I hope you can see that. You got the basketball courts, you've got a lake view behind it, playgrounds. It's just really, really pretty. And the people who live here really do enjoy it. They really do take their kids up there, and it's just a really nice family community. But again, these communities are in incredible demand. Look at that. You don't see that all the time. A greenhouse. Wonder if they're Irish. And then you see the swing in the tree there. And you see the boat strapped up on that fence. A lot of these communities, and I'm not 100% sure about all of them, they have HOAs, but the HOAs either have no fees or very small fees, and they're completely hands off. But the reason they have them set up and in place is really because they want to have the ability, should somebody go rogue and, the example that I like to use is, and sets up a meth lab in the neighborhood, they want the ability to give them the boot. And having that piece in place preserves that option. But by and large, I'm almost positive these are all non-HOA communities or non-fee communities, and I could be dead wrong, so being honest about that. But it's simply not to be intrusive. It's simply to maintain quality control should somebody go rogue. All right, so this is Timber Creek. It's really nice. I hope you've enjoyed it. And now I'm going to take you back to back to civilization, but back to some of the. Now maybe you can see that pond. To where the retail is, where the shopping is. Now, mind you, I'm going back to Glades. If we went in the opposite direction, I'd be taking you to Yamato, and Yamato is going to have similar retail. So there's going to be, all the things that you want. There's fitness studios, there's gyms, there's tanning, hair salons, Publix, which is our major shopping center. This is New Floresta, which we were in before. Directly across the street is Pinecrest School. Go Panthers. And fun fact, my sister went to school there for a period of time in elementary. And then double fun fact, when we lived in Fort Lauderdale, I attended Pinecrest, had an incredible day camp. They had an incredible tennis camp, which is where I learned how to play tennis. There's another park over here that we're passing, University Woodlands Park. I'm not going to pop in. I will include some additional footage so you can check it out. But really what I want you to see is how close we are to Town Center Mall, how close we are to 95. And of course, I'm missing to our right, you've got the neighborhood of Santa Barbara, which is gated. And a lot of the communities that exist in Boca Raton are gated, at least in central Boca Raton. Not all, but most are. The area that I just showed you is not all, but it's most of the homes that exist that are non-gated. Where'd my glasses go? It's bright. That are non-gated, that are in central Boca. But as you can see, I'm on the Glades. I'm at Glades Road, the intersection of Glades Road and St. Andrews. So across from us, you can see there's a town executive center, and then across the street on the other way, which we're going to go into, is the Boca Town Center Mall, which is one of the best malls that you're going to find. There's high-end shopping all over the place, plenty of great restaurants. Next to that, you're now kind of getting into downtown Boca. There's all kinds of office buildings, executive centers. I used to work there in my stock brokerage career, and so I'm very familiar with this area. This is like my old stomping grounds. Every time I go back here, I remember the good old days, the war stories of retail stock glory. But if I keep going, and I probably will for this video, once you pass over 95, you've got Boca High, which is an incredible school. You've got then a strip of retail where you've got, Whole Foods, and a tremendous amount of other restaurants and shops to choose from, bearing in mind that this is now a college town. So, there's a guy coming across. You saw him. That's a great way to get run over, pal. Especially by somebody who's creating content and barely paying attention to the road. Bad, Chris. All right, so we've got the light. But yeah, so you do have Florida Atlantic University, which is right here. So there is campus life, and there's a lot of students that exist, and they love having the access to the beach and the mall and all the good things that exist down here in Florida, especially in Boca Raton. But I'm driving into the town center at Boca Raton. And now, there are some people who call it Boca Raton. There are some people that call it Boca Raton. Which one is right? I have no clue. Oh, you think honking at me is a good idea? Perhaps you should open up your eyes and realize that there are people in front of me. Okay. So, well, I hope I don't have to showcase my road rage for this particular piece of content. Just kidding. You're never going to see any road rage out of me. But in front of us, you got the Capitol Grill. You've got Macy's. You've got Grand Lux. You've got the Capitol Grill. I've said that twice. It's so good, you have to say it twice. And now I'm headed up to the main entrance. But really what I'm looking to do is just showcase how close you are to all of these things if you're thinking about living here. And they do have a valet. They do have self-parking. I'm not going to be using any of those. I'm actually just going to get out of here and continue on my tour. If I was to continue going straight and get myself back on St. Andrews, there is, you know what, I'm going to do that. Because why not? Why wouldn't I do that? And look at all the people. There's lots of people. Everybody's out there living their life. They're free. They're maxing out South Florida. They're actually maxing out their credit cards. Hopefully not. Hopefully they're using some financial prudence. But this is Boca Raton. Everybody's got money. Everybody's rich. That's not true. but lots of people want to act that way. So look at that Chick-fil-A mobile. I'm going to make a left here. You're going to stop or you're going to get run over. And the reason I'm taking you through this parking lot, which is essentially empty, I want to congratulate Amazon for putting malls out of business. But the reason that I'm doing that is, hopefully I can stabilize that. There's a Greenwise Publix back here. Shout out to Chris Danner. I doubt sincerely that you're going to see this video ever. But, and there's a Bloomingdale's. I mean, this is a really high-end mall. But there's a public shopping center that exists behind it that is a Greenwise shopping, which is a Greenwise store. And it is so good. The food that exists there is so good. They make a lot of their own stuff. And it is... I should stop talking about it because I'm getting too hungry. But there's Maggiano's restaurant. There's all kinds of stuff in there. That's just a Diamonds Direct. So you're looking to pick up some bling bling or something for your significant other. That's where you do it. But essentially, this is the town center at Boca Raton. And that Publix supports all the areas that exist that are around here. Really, what I want you to see. Now, I'm back on St. Andrews. Without getting us killed. And if I keep going, well, this will take us to the end of Boca, but the next town over is Deerfield Beach. And I'm not going to go into Deerfield Beach for the benefit of this, but you got a First Watch, you got all kinds of retail over here, Souvlaki, Duffy's, gas station, Pollo Tropical. There's apartment complexes on either side. If you're interested in an apartment, then your best option is not to reach out to a realtor, but to reach out to that apartment directly. They do all of their own, they bypass the MLS completely. They do their own marketing. They do their own lead generation. So the best thing to do if you're looking for apartments are to just Google the apartment, the area that you're looking for apartments, and contact them directly. But the area to the right of me is Villa Verde, and so is the area to the left of me. They're both Villa Verde apartment complexes, and they're really nice. So they're very, very nice. Great place to live. But we're going to keep on trucking because I want you to see everything that exists in Boca Raton off of St. Andrews, which is really the heart of central Boca Raton. But the place that I am going to take you next, to our left, well, one is the Swim and Racket Center. To our right is Town Place Club Villas. But I'm going somewhere specific with this, and I want you to see it because it is incredible. Hopefully I can get over here without causing an accident as we go up to Palmetto Park. But on the left, you've got the coach houses of Town Place. And on your... you know what? I can do what I want to do, I think. All right, hopefully he will go. And hopefully I've retained some audience here. I know this is a long piece of content. I hope you find it valuable. Again, this is everything you ever wanted to know about Central Boca. And honestly, the neighborhood that I thought I was taking to you, I am confused about. I'm a little bit lost on right now. I'm not lost. I just, the neighborhood I'm thinking of isn't off of this road. So we're going to circle back so I can show you what I wanted to show you, but obviously I don't want to break the law and make an illegal turn. So I'm going to stop this now and I'll start it again. All right, we got the green light. I'm making the U-turn. We're headed back on St. Andrews, and I desperately need to find a place to use the potty. So I'm going to do that as we get closer to the mall. But to our right, we got the Coach Homes of Town Place. We're going to keep on trucking. And really what I want you to see is how pretty this area actually is. You've got these incredible royal palm trees, tree-lined streets. You got the tennis courts. You've got an incredible community. Everybody's active, vibrant, and this is open to the public, the Swim and Racket Center. Really great place to drop by, play tennis, go swimming, hang out, whatever you want to do. And you're right around the corner from the Town Center Mall, all the shops, all the restaurants that exist as we keep on going through. And we're going to keep on going through. Also, check out St. Andrew Estates, another apartment complex that exists. If you're looking for the apartment lifestyle that exists here in Boca Raton, that is an option. And where am I going? I lost track of where I was going. Okay, so I'm going to go... Where am I going to go? For a second, I got lost there. And... that is the downside. Hopefully I'm not boring you. I'm yawning myself. But hopefully, now that I'm paying attention to the road, I can get back on track and find myself a restroom. But really what I'm looking for is specific. I am looking for, and I suspect I have, nope, I have not found it. I gotta go past this. There is a acai bowl place right around here that's incredible, that I want to check out. But being that I can't find what I want and I desperately have to use the bathroom, I am going to pop in Publix real quick, and if Chris Danner's working, I'm going to say hi, and if he's not, then I'm not. But that's okay. I will continue and resume this tour here momentarily. All right, so we're back. We're better than ever. Man, did I have... I hope this is story. Whew! Relief. I really had to go. And if you were on this tour with me, you would probably have to go too. So we would have just stopped to use the facilities. And the one thing I didn't realize, I think I left my wallet at home. So when I went to get myself a little something, because probably, if you're on this tour with me, you're probably hungry too. I didn't have my wallet, which is problematic. Now, one of the things that I do, you can see this is a Publix gift card, and I almost used my handful of Publix gift cards. I did not, however, do that because I give those to people that I see and whenever I see somebody who looks like they're struggling or could potentially be homeless. You can see the big crane in front of me, I think, which I'm hoping did not fall, and it's supposed to be that way. Looks a little bit iffy. But assuming that was not a major malfunction and was really just the way it's supposed to be because it's setting up for some new construction. They're doing lots of construction everywhere here, right? So there are plenty of places that exist in, well, let me rephrase that. There's not plenty of places that exist, but there are areas in Boca that exist where there is development happening. So I've talked about this in other videos. GL, who is the developer and the builder of my community out in Canyon Trails, they are soon to break ground on what used to be the Boca Municipal Golf course, and they are going to develop that into their next single-family residence community, which will be ultra luxury. It'll be very similar to to what they've built in the past. And if you've watched my Boynton driving video, you saw what that looks like. All of the GL communities are designed similarly. They're not the same. The homes are not the same. The newer communities, they actually have better amenities, and better being a relative term. But for example, like Seven Bridges, which is one of their newer communities, which is in West Boca, they have an incredible clubhouse, and that clubhouse has a restaurant, and the tennis courts have a tennis pro shop. It is the next level of luxury. The community that I live in, the Canyons, while they absolutely have an incredibly nice resort style amenities, they don't have a pro shop, they don't have a restaurant. They do have a full working kitchen and all of the resources that you'd want, but that next level would be a restaurant, or like meal service or bar at the pool and stuff like that. They don't have that, and frankly, that's going to cost you an additional $1 million in home value to live there. So it is, it's what you want and what you can afford. Now we are back on Glades Road. I have gone up and down St. Andrews, so you have a feel for what that looks like. I am now on Glades Road, and I'm headed towards... that's too much of a zoom in. Maybe I can go like that and give you more of a sense of what's going on. But to our right is Town Center Mall, which is where we were just at, and then we're going into the corporate, more downtown area. There's going to be a lot of office buildings. There's going to be some hotels. You're going to have the Boca Executive Airport that comes up on your left. You've got the entrance to 95, and then there's going to be Boca High, as well as a tremendous amount of essentially commercial sprawl there to support first the local community. That's the firehouse right there to our left. I don't think you can see it in the screen. What you might notice is the traffic. So it is 12:30. It is what's today's date? January 17th, maybe. I'm not sure. We're passing the Cheesecake Factory, and then we're going to. So if we were to go to our right on Butts Road, it would take us to back to the mall. But then catty corner to that, there's more office space. To the left of me on Glades, you've got the big corporate town center. That building there, that is where, basically where I started my my stock brokerage career. And across the street, you've got more retail. You've got Starbucks. You've got some restaurants. You've got Abe and Louie's, which is pretty good. When I first started working as a stockbroker, I was in my early 20s, and I had this incredible corner glass office. It was really nice, but I was so young, and they opened a Hooters across the way in that shopping center over there, and I thought that was the greatest thing ever. That original Hooters is no longer there, but they have since replaced that old Hooters. As they say, who doesn't want to replace old Hooters with new Hooters? But so stupid. All right, so coming to the left, I don't know if you can see it. That is the Boca Executive Airport, and to the right of me is Boca High. And hopefully you found my joke funny, but yeah. So there's a new Hooters over there, and when I say new, it's not new. It's probably been there for, I don't know, 15 years now. I fall into the same trap that the sellers that I mentioned before sometimes do about the upgrades and improvements that they did 20 years ago, and they think it's new. I think that might just be a byproduct of being old. But you can see you've got more retail, you've got Nordstrom, you've got all kinds of different things. I'm not going to read them all. Got a PF Chang's. To the left is a water treatment facility that I'm not going to highlight or showcase, because do you really want to see a water treatment facility? But we're getting close to the beach. We're getting close to FAU. That Shake Shack is really good. I'm going to pan out because I want to show you FAU. I hope this is getting it. And it's, well, when you first walk in, or when you first drive up, and I have to say, I went to FAU back in the early 90s. It was a totally different experience. They didn't have a football team at that point. The campus was much smaller. It was nowhere near as academically rigorous as it is today, or as competitive. This is a legit university, and it's not that it wasn't back then. I'm not knocking it. It just had a very different feel. So when I came here, they did have some pretty good sports teams. Their basketball team was good. Their soccer team was exceptional. And I fancied that I was going to walk on and play soccer, because I lived with a bunch of soccer players, and ended up being really good friends with them. But anyway, that never materialized. What I did play was rugby, and so they had a really good rugby team, and we played the University of Florida, we played the University of Miami, we beat them both, and I got some pretty good war stories around that. But I suspect they still have a rugby team, but now they have a football team, which is much cooler. And I want you to get that main entrance, because it is super cool. It's I think it is quite an impressive. It's quite impressive how this school has grown over the years, and so we're just driving through the campus now, and you got student drivers that don't like the old man who's going 3 miles an hour, but that's okay. What I want to share is that within this incredible university is part of that is A.D. Henderson Elementary, Middle, and High School. And A.D. Henderson is an incredible academic institution. It is its own jurisdiction. So it's not part of Palm Beach County's school district. It's its own school district. And because of that, they have more latitude than I would say other places. And my kids happen to be fortunate enough to go there. And that's not a knock on the school system that exists out where I live, because the Sunset Palms Elementary we were so happy to be going to school there. It was such an incredible experience. Don't know if you can see this, but there is a track, an outdoor track, running track that's there. I used to run there often with the Boca Road runners. I'm sure they're still out there. It's just not geographically desirable for me anymore. But as I tune up for different races and I try to get in speed work, I'll go out to that track and I'll run there. It is open to the public during certain times, and it's really cool. But there's lots of clubs that will come out here and utilize some of these resources. But we're heading up right now to the football stadium, which is really cool. And then I'll also showcase A.D. Henderson, which is where my kids go to school. And if it was earlier, or if it was a little bit later, I'd probably pick them up from school, but it's not. So my wife gets to. All right. We are driving through the FAU campus. You see lots of students walking around, and hopefully you can see how pretty it is. I'm trying to angle this in a way Actually, I'm going to take this off the mount. And that is the football stadium. That's an extreme close-up on me that nobody wants. But I do want you to see the football stadium and how cool it is. And to come here and check out a game is not all that challenging. Go Owls. All right, enough of me. And back to our tour of FAU Boulevard and FAU campus. What was really cool for me is that, so when I went to school here, I lived in the dorms, in spite of the fact that at the time I didn't live that far away, but at that age, I wanted separation from my parents, and I wanted that college experience, which did not turn out well for me. But but nonetheless, during this trip down memory lane, when I started driving my kids to school here, it was really an amazing experience to come here and see how much the place has grown and changed and developed. Now, as right now we're approaching AD Henderson School, that blue building is the front facade of the school, and then right next to it you can see they're building a new building, and so that'll be up soon. It's incredible how fast that went up, and the reason I give you that context is I know they're building a new middle school out in West Boynton, but it doesn't take that long. Once they break the ground and once they get into motion, it doesn't take that long to actually build the structure and get that set up. So the timeline that I talk about of it being available next year, I think that is totally plausible. I just don't want to give anybody the wrong information and say, hey, this is going to be up by X date, and it not. I know it will be up. I know it will be the best middle school in Palm Beach County. I just don't know when. So let me hold this. And to your left, there is student housing. To our right, you've got more of the campus. And this is a massive, big, sprawling campus. It is really pretty. I just drove around the perimeter of it. But AD Henderson is an incredible school. FAU is an incredible school. They have no, we don't want the radio on. They have a incredible ocean engineering department, and the reason why we chose to go to AD Henderson over the geographic desirability of being at Sunset Palms, in spite of the fact that Sunset Palms is an incredible school, is that if you are invited into the high school at AD Henderson, you end up graduating FAU with a 2-year degree at the end of your graduation of high school. So it's a massive, and also it's an elite education. It's incredible. It is. I priced out some of the private school options that exist, specifically American Heritage, and when I ran the numbers and looked at the opportunity, I just felt this was a better opportunity for myself, for my family, in spite of the fact it's a little bit of a drive versus a very small drive. Totally worth it to me, so, and to us, and also a lot less expensive, because at the time when I ran the numbers, it looked like the American Heritage education was, for both of my kids to go there until they graduate, was something close to $1 million. And this is well, it's not free. I do pay my taxes, but this is a public education. And so if you are interested in that opportunity, then you must, I implore you, you must apply to the lottery to get that opportunity. So, and it's a lottery system. So we applied 3 or 4 years in a row. I don't remember which. My wife handled that, but we were denied 3 times. On the 4th time, we hit the lottery, and so with that in mind, they now go to school there. But what an incredible school. And again, if you're living in Central Boca, I don't know if, let me zoom in on this. This is the main entrance to FAU. And what I couldn't show you before, you might be able to see now, is the soccer fields. Incredible soccer team. Also, Boca itself has incredible sports leagues, incredible recreation teams, incredible, really everything. I mean, there's arts, there's dancing, there's drama, there's all of those things exist. Performing arts exist, but one of the force multipliers is the sports are year-round. So you've always got something to do with the kids. There's always an incredible park to go to. The beach is right here. And then again, we're headed up to 95. If we were to continue on this road, Glades Road, which I will, I'm just not going to continue filming all of this for today because it will be a separate content piece. But this is Central Boca, right? So scratch that. Let me take that back. I'm going to modify that statement. East Boca is from the 95 to Federal, and then I would call it coastal East Boca is really that area from Federal to the beach. Now, I know it's not exactly all of that being coastal, but the communities that exist in that golden triangle between Meisner and Glades and the intercoastal, that patch of land right there, which I will film separate content on another time, so be on the lookout for it. But that is more exclusive, it's more expensive, and it's a lot of those homes do have intercoastal access. So if you have that intercoastal access, then you're right there living that coastal lifestyle, because you can be on your boat and into the ocean very quickly due to the proximity of the inlet and everything else like that. So for the sake of this piece of content, we are defining Central Boca as the bridge that we're going over, which is the overpass to 95, all the way up to the Turnpike entrance. That would be Central Boca, and then anything past that is going to be considered West Boca. And as we go into and closer to the Turnpike, there are different opportunities that exist for single-family homes. They'll probably be less expensive than what I just showed you on St. Andrews. That's primetime real estate. As you get past that, there are more affordable home housing options, and they're older homes. They're smaller land. They're nice. Don't get me wrong. They're very nice, very friendly. In fact, it's an incredible community to live in. I actually met my wife going to Evolution Fitness, which is in West Boca, but that gym services the community all around there. So there's tons of incredibly nice families, friendly families that are all fitness oriented. Well, at least the people that I met through the gym are fitness oriented, and just it's a great place to live. So that would be considered Central Boca. As we go into West Boca, those communities are newer for the most part. There are some apartment and condos that exist off of either side, or villas that exist off of either side. But as you get into West Boca, there are, again, you're going to have a big, nice, high-rated high school, incredible parks, walking paths. There's a continuity throughout Boca that's similar, but of course the price points jump radically depending on how close you are to the ocean and if you have water access. Water being defined as access to the ocean through the intercoastal. A lot of these homes out west, or actually a lot of the homes throughout Boca itself, do have waterfront or are waterfront, but that waterfront would be considered a man-made, well, not considered, is a man-made lake. And that's nice too. That's what I have. That's what I live on, and I love that view from of the lake and that water feature. But it's a totally different thing than being out there on the ocean or living that coastal lifestyle. The strip of we're on Glades. We're headed to the turnpike, and I will tell you the traffic right now, I don't know if it seems bad or if you can see that, but it is heavy given the time of the year. It is still season, so there's a lot of snowbirds out here, which means there are more people on the road. During rush hour, this is just, you don't want to be on Glades Road on the way to work or on the way home from work, because this it's just very congested and takes a lot longer than it normally would. So let's say it takes you 20 minutes on a regular day. It's going to take you double or more during rush hour, and especially during season. So it is something to be mindful of, and you want to avoid these this artery of road during those time frames. And so that's it, right? That's essentially it for my central Boca Raton tour. I hope you found the content valuable, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If there's ever anything that we can do to help serve or support you in your home search, in your lifestyle pursuit, then reach out. We would love to help. If you're interested in learning more about every city in South Florida, then click the link up here or up here for our relocation guide. It's going to tell you everything you'd ever want to know about every city within South Florida, and I will continue to honor my commitment and showcase exactly what it's like to live in an area, in every area of South Florida, and that's what this content is meant to fulfill today. This is my commitment to you. So we're going to keep on trucking. If there's an area you'd like me to highlight or showcase to you, please let me know in the comments down below. And that's really it. I hope you enjoyed the content, and until next time, peace!